What if alien abductions weren't just stories, but documentaries and case files? Tonight we're reopening three encounters, all from the same in person, all from the same place, Hawaii. Tonight we're lucky enough to have Laura come back on with us. She's actually on camera with us tonight on the podcast. You guys will get to see her. She's an alien abductee. She's been abducted many times over many states and around the world. It's her daughter as well. Her family seems to have a history of this. So we're going to be talking to her more about things that happened to her in Hawaii, not just abductions, but we're also going to be talking to her about other sightings that she had of UFOs and other strange happenings. So without further ado, let's bring Laura on. Hi, Laura. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How you doing?
Good. Thank you for coming on with us. So why don't you start with your first story? Tell us exactly what happened. Where were you? What were you doing? And kind of give us as many details as you can remember about what happened.
Well, I'm going to tell you about the one I was saying earlier about in my bedroom.
Okay.
I thought I was sleeping soundly. I thought it was, hey, I'm sleeping really good tonight. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I don't know, it had to be probably, I think, 4 a.m. It was closer to 5. They had me the aliens had me all night. I know they did. But I was slammed down in my bed. They made a mistake. For some reason, they slammed me really down hard in my bed, and that woke me up.
Ouch.
And I was thinking, uh-oh, something happened. And
what just happened?
I didn't remember being taken, or this camera is like, I didn't even know what had happened. But anyway, I don't remember what happened on the ship either. But anyway, when I woke up, I felt 100% drugged. Like, I can't, it's like really the most drugged I've ever felt in my life. And I was thinking, oh, they had to be doing some tests on me or surgery, or they were doing something. I know they did something. But anyway, I'm laying there. I was like a ball of nerves. I could not move. I was frozen, like I don't know. I couldn't move for like an hour, Matt. It took me. But the funny thing is, this makes me mad too. They slammed me down, and I was facing the wall again. Facing the wall. I was on my right side, but behind me, I felt like there was something in the room with me, and I was thinking, oh no. But I also smelled like cinnamon, and they say aliens smell like cinnamon, and this is the only time I smell cinnamon with any of my abductions.
Wow.
I felt a
so
cinnamon.
What made you feel like there was something in the room with you?
There was, because when they slammed me down, I was groggy and I was mumbling something like, oh yeah, me and my sisters used to do that, or something. They must have been asking me questions about something, because I was saying something, and then all of a sudden behind me I heard somebody said, huh? This thing, it just went like, huh? Like, kind of, and then I got so scared. I couldn't move as it was, but I wanted to. Oh my God! I tried my hardest to turn around to see. There was something standing there right by my nightstand, right by my bed, literally right. I know it was standing there because I smelled cinnamon, and then it says like, huh? And like, well, they know how to say, huh?
So what did you see when you looked?
I didn't look. I could not turn around. I tried to move.
Oh, you just felt the presence?
I felt his presence, and I heard it say something, and then I can't tell you when it left. I know it left. Then after an hour, I tried for an hour. I could not move, and I was so mad, and I was so upset because I wanted to see what was standing there. Damn it.
Yeah.
And I was just frozen in you know how they say you freeze up and you can't move? Yeah. Well, plus I felt like I had just come out of surgery, so I was feeling like I was like in recovery, just laying there.
Yeah.
because my body was like feeling like jello. You know what I mean? I was like just blah, just felt kind of sick. Because I don't know what happened, but I don't know what that.
Make
I
you a good
really like to
neighbor,
know
yeah.
what they were doing and why they didn't pay me for what they were doing. You know, they could
Crazy.
be.
So,
I don't know.
do you know when this was? Do you remember what the year was and stuff like that, or any?
Yeah, we moved. We moved out of there. Well, the house we were at. My daughter divorced her husband in 2019, so it was before 2019. I see it was 2017 or 2018.
So 2017 or 18.
Or maybe 2016. Yeah, because we moved out of that house we were at in 2019.
Had you seen
So
any?
I could take you another quick one. I had a couple things happen in my bedroom. The one time I was watching TV. I was watching my Ghost Adventures. I always watch, and I had a big like a bookcase shelf my TV sat on.
Yeah.
Like a shelf, and it was to the right side of my door. I went downstairs to get dinner, and I came back upstairs, to eat.
Yeah.
And man, I opened my door, and I kid you not, I thought I was seeing things. I told my daughter this. My TV was to the right side, and the door was to the left, right? So I opened the door, and I see this blue haze. It came down because the TV was this way, so it was this way, and my door, the haze I saw it came down to the left of where the big bookcase shelf I had my TV on. So I see this blue haze right in front of the door. When I opened the door, and inside that haze, I told my daughter, I kid you not, I said, I saw an alien inside this blue haze. And I told her, I said, I can't believe you don't think I'm crazy. I told her story after story.
Would you say that might have been a portal or something? Maybe it was trying to come through a portal?
It didn't look like a portal to me. It was just a blue haze that came down from my ceiling from up where I don't know where he came from.
Yeah. So
but as soon
like something was beaming down or something into your room.
Yeah, beaming down. As soon as I opened that door and it knew I was behind it, it shot up to the ceiling, and I said, "Now I don't drink and I don't do drugs." Yeah. I just came in at my plate of dinner, and then I ran downstairs and I told I said, "Oh my God, you won't believe what I just saw." This was not at night either. This was probably like 6 or 7-ish eating dinner. And I told my daughter, I said, "Laura, you know what? They can be invisible. They can be in your room. They can be in your house, and you wouldn't even know it, because they can be invisible, and you won't even know they're there." And my daughter said, "Oh, you probably have them all over your bedroom." I said, "Oh my God, don't say that to me." She said that I probably do. I said, "You're right. I probably do, because they have the invisibility capability that you won't even know." Like ghosts, you wouldn't even know they're there.
Yeah, that's crazy. So we're treating this like a case file, guys. We're kind of breaking it down to see exactly what happened. So basically, you come up, you find this blue mist, it disappears, goes back through the ceiling. Did anything else happen after that?
Not that. Well, if anything happened that night, I don't remember anything happening. If they came back that night,
did you have any missing time? Find anything out of the ordinary?
No, I told my daughter what happened and went back upstairs and ate my dinner. Like, it wasn't.
You went to bed. You woke up the next morning. Was anything changed around? Was anything different?
No.
No missing time or anything?
No, I don't remember. No, I just went upstairs and naturally ate my dinner. Like, oh well, I'm used to them. It's like it's normal for me.
Right.
After I told her that I didn't think twice. Went upstairs and had my dinner right in my bedroom. I didn't go downstairs. I think that's kind of odd. I should be like scared but I wasn't scared to go back up to my room.
So did anything else happen strange at that, in like that week or, the days leading up to it or after it? Did you have any strange events or anything out of the norm?
I don't remember anything happening.
Yeah.
But I made a mistake in not writing this stuff down. I wish I would have wrote everything down. I would have had the day, the time, the date, and then I don't even know, I didn't think
next
that.
time. Well, this is kind of impromptu, guys. We're going to do this last week, and unfortunately I got sick, and then so we just didn't have time to do it. So, anyways, she agreed to come on today because I was in the middle of doing something, and so yeah, it was perfect. So, tell us about the second encounter that you had. You were telling me about you were sitting on the bed, and you basically were trying to figure out a different way to lay, and then to see if you got abducted. And you said you had flipped over like on your stomach and your arms were like pulled up into you or something weird.
Oh, that incident. That's actually that's a long abduction. That one I was going to tell you about another one,
Yeah.
but
So go ahead
that
and
one.
tell us about your second one then. So we're treating these like case files. So this is case file number 2. So go ahead and tell us about the second one.
Do you want me to tell you about the one that touched me on my shoulder? That's a quick one.
Yeah, you woke up
Yeah.
you felt a hand or something on your back. Yeah. Ooh, that's creepy.
I was sleeping really good, and it touched me, and I just put my head up, and I was like, "Yeah, well what the heck is going on?" And then I put my head back down, and no, I didn't have my head facing towards the right, but I was in such a haze from sleeping, I didn't see nothing. I was just trying to open my eyes, and then I put my head back down, facing to the right, facing the wall like an idiot, which I did not expect. This alien, Matt, when he first touched me, I heard pop, 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 and I guess he disappeared. Then I lay my head back down, and I get to, he touched me again on my shoulder twice. I was crapping my pants. He touched me twice. I was not expecting that.
Well, that's creepy. Number one, you're sleeping. Number two, somebody's touching on your back. I mean, for me, it probably be, go away, ghosts. And then if I turn around, there's really behind me. Yeah, I think I'd be a little creeped out too.
Yeah, but if I would have had my head towards the right, I would have saw him. But when he touched me, I opened my eyes. I was wide awake, but I was facing the damn wall. I was facing to the right. I was looking towards the wall instead of looking the other way. If I would have opened my eyes, he would have been standing right there. I did.
So he touches you. What happened after he touched you the second time?
He touched me. Listen to this, Matt. He touched me. He said, "Law." And I almost had a heart attack. He said half of my name, and I was like, WTF, what is that?
Right.
And I opened my eyes. I was wide awake out of a dead sleep. I came wide awake, and I was like, and I was like, I was swearing, because I was like, okay, I'm going to try to turn around as fast as I can to see this thing, and as soon as I tried to spin my body around as quick as I could. I spun around, and then I heard snap, crackle, pop. It just sounded like that. Snap, crackle, pop, real quick, and it disappeared. It was gone. I can't tell you, I'm still pissed. I was so pissed. It was standing. It was right there. But I was sleeping in a bunk bed too. My granddaughter was up. She was on the top bunk. This is a bunk bed. There was 2 of us in the room.
Oh, wow.
And she didn't hear anything. I didn't even ask her. She didn't wake up. And I was like, how did she? When I heard that snap, crackle, pop thing, that was loud. I can't believe my daughter in the other room, in her bedroom, didn't hear it. Because I asked her, she said, didn't you hear? I said, it was so loud. How did you not hear it? This snapping sound.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm still pissed. That was a long time ago, and it was right there.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering if maybe they came through a portal or something, or maybe that's the sound of them being like beamed back up or something. They're just they're going back into that portal, or they're cloaking when they're making that noise.
Yeah, this is what we were trying to figure out. But can you tell me, why did this thing touch me twice and say half my name and then disappear? What was the point of this alien coming to me and then leaving? And that's all that happened. As soon as I flipped my body around, it was gone.
Yeah, so my thoughts are maybe...
My daughter asked me too. She said, what was the point of him?
My thinking
Can
is
you answer that?
maybe you did get abducted and you don't remember it. Maybe they actually were able to cloud your mind enough this time that you don't remember it. You know, the physical touch was them trying to kind of maybe get you and get you to come out of the bed or something, to come with them. And then basically, you know, that popping sound could have been it putting you back or something like the last thing you remember. Did you have any marks or anything on your body after that encounter?
Yeah, the three marks on my shoulder because he touched me twice and it burned me. I forgot to say, it was like suction cups. I felt their fingers. They have suction cups at the end, and he burned me on my left shoulder twice.
So,
And that took about like a year before it cleared up. It hurt too. It
okay.
hurt all the time. I had to try to put something on it, and I never went to the doctor. I should have went to the doctor to just find out what. I never even thought to go to the doctor and have it checked out.
Yeah.
Didn't even dawn. Oh,
So did you put some burn cream on it? How did you treat that?
I just put some. What do you call that ointment gel you put on?
Aloe? You put aloe on it? Aloe vera?
I might. I tried that. I don't know what you call that topical gel you use. That's all I did. I put burn ointment on it, but
Yeah.
it was shoulder. It was like a scarf for probably more longer than a year, maybe year and a half. Not sure how long it took to clear up.
Dang.
But I showed my daughter, and she was like, "What is that?" I said, "That's where it touched me." She said, "Oh, I believe you." She believed me because I had 3 burn marks on my shoulder. I said, "I'm not making." She goes, "I know you're not making none of this stuff up because I have too much detail." She said, "You
that's
have too much
crazy.
incidents." She's like, "You got these little, intricate details that is." She said, "Is hard to make up, I guess."
Well, yeah, if you have 3 marks from where something touched you and it burned your skin. I mean, did you guys get any pictures of that or anything?
My daughter might have. I think she might have took pictures on her phone when it happened.
Yeah. Does she still have the pictures or no?
I'd have to ask her. She might still have them. Her phone.
It'd be interesting to see those pictures and maybe get them to somebody that studies alien abductions and stuff like that, and see if that might help. Maybe as evidence to get some kind of stuff. But
you know what? Before this incident happened, I had some things happen before this happened. This was when we first got there. Mm-hmm. Me and my daughter. This is the same bedroom. I was in the bedroom with my granddaughter because we had a small house. The one night we were looking out the window in the bedroom, me and my daughter, and it was at night. It was probably 9 or 10 o'clock at night, or it was later. Might have been later, but it was pitch dark, and you know how the stars are there. They're gorgeous everywhere. But we're looking out the window, and right before I said something to her, she said it to me. She said, "Mom, do you see on the right side where the window is?" She's like, "Do you see a black object sitting there?" And I was like, "I was just about to ask you that. If you see," she saw this before me. There was this black object. I don't know how, but we could make it out. Because usually a black object at night that'd be kind of hard to make out, but we could see it. There's one on the right side of the window we were looking, and I said, "Laura, do you see the one on the left side?" There was one on the left side too of our house.
2 of them?
It's right there. Do you see it? She said, "Yeah, I see one on the left side." And I said, "Oh my God, you see that too?" I didn't think she saw it. And I was like, "Oh, this." I said, my exact words was like, "Oh God, I hope nothing happens to me tonight," is what he said to her.
Jeez. Can you describe what it looked like? I know you said it was black, but what was the shape of it?
It looked like shaped like almost like an egg type of thing.
Was it almost laying down like a saucer? Or was it standing up? What did it? What was the whole? What did it look like?
Both of them were just sitting there in the sky. One was on the right side of the window of her house, and one was on the left side. They were probably like 50 feet apart. I'd say maybe they were pretty close.
So they look egg-shaped. Were they laying horizontally, or were they laying like up vertically?
No, they were laying straight up like that.
Okay.
They were just sitting. And
were there any lights or anything on them, or no?
Nope. Nope, they were just all black, but we could make them out. And I was going to say something to my daughter. My daughter says something to me before I was going to ask her, do you see that? Or am I seeing things? And I was like, do you see the other one? And she's like, yeah. She was about to say something about that one too. And I was like, okay, I'm not going crazy. We were both seeing it.
What time of day was it? Was it daylight or was it dark?
Yeah, it was at night, and we can make it out. It was probably 10, 11 o'clock at night. I think it was late.
Yeah.
I don't know what we were doing up late, but it was late. And it was funny. We were both looking out the window. I don't know what we were looking out the window for. I don't remember. But we saw that, and I thought, oh, that's really strange. Why is there two of them? We couldn't figure this out. Why are there two of them sitting there?
Right.
And I was like, that's just odd. No lights. It's the first time UFO, no lights.
Interesting. So, how long were they sitting there? You know, what was going on? Did they just leave, or how long did you guys watch them for?
I don't know if they were sitting there all night. We were just watching them for probably maybe like 10 minutes, I think. And then we went to bed. I don't know if they were sitting there all night, or okay. I should have stayed up and watched them for a while to see how they could have been there all night.
I gotta teach you to use your video. We gotta get your video cameras on your phones, so you can start documenting this stuff.
Yeah, every time this is bad. Every time I would see a UFO, I never thought about my phone. Never thought to pick up my phone.
Got to get you a nice little handy cam or something so you can start recording stuff. Keep it charged.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't. I had so many opportunities in Hawaii to record a UFO, or but
yeah. Well,
no,
now
I think
all the UFO phenomenon going on.
I recorded one time for my nephew, but every time I tried, they just come out, just look like a light in the sky. You couldn't tell anything.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell the shape or anything.
Right. And even then, you can still document it. You can kind of show what's around it. And if you put something bigger or smaller in the sky with it, if you have another star, or if you have a light pole or anything, you can put in there so they can compare the size and stuff like that. We can go through with a, editor, and it's real easy now to go through and pick out how big something actually is and how far away it is and stuff like that. So,
yeah, that
anyways, we're getting a little lower on time. So why don't you tell us your third story?
Do you want to hear some sightings, or
I think you wanted to tell us about your third story.
The one with when I was in a bedroom and my bedroom
was... you were abducted and you were laying on your stomach and you were playing around with your arms underneath you or something, you were saying?
I was taking a nap. I was not abducted, but I was sitting there, and all of a sudden I heard this. I thought it was my implant in my right ear, because I figured I have one in my right ear, or maybe it was just my ear ringing. But I was being a smart aleck and said, "Oh, I can hear my implant." Because they say that the aliens can hear you thinking, and so I was like, I was just joking around. I was like, "Oh, I can hear my implant, ha ha ha," And then next thing I know, my room started shaking. This was like, what time is it? I was taking a nap. It was a late nap. I think it was around 5. I think, I'm not sure. But I'm laying there, and my whole bedroom started shaking. I was like, "What's Hawaii having an earthquake? Hawaii doesn't have earthquakes. What the heck is going on?" And it was shaking really bad, like an earthquake. I'm telling you. I told my daughter this.
Yeah.
And after this had happened, and she had no idea this was happening. But anyway, when that happened, I was starting to panic, and then I said, I think I said to them, "Oh, I was just kidding. I was just joking." I started panicking. I said something to them like, "Okay, I didn't mean it. I was just joking." Then, no, I take this back. I remember now. I forgot it. I forget some details. This happened later. It was not 5. It was later. It had to be. It was dark. I remember now. So I must have been going to bed. I was laying down. as I was laying there, I was still laying on my stomach, and I couldn't move. I froze. I froze up or something, or maybe they wouldn't let me move or something. But anyway, I was looking out my window. My window was behind me, like, you know what I mean. I was laying more towards the end of the bed, so if I turned my head, I could see the window behind me, and I had a two big, huge windows. They were connected. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like big, huge picture window things. So I'm looking out there and I see the stars. So it had to be after at least 9 or 10, because it gets dark late there, you know. And I was looking at all the stars, and it was dark. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I see this thing, this huge thing. It looked like an alien in the window outside.
That's not creepy.
It was just, I don't know where. I was waiting. Where did this thing come from? It came from out of nowhere. First I thought it was a ghost. It came from out of nowhere, Matt. I told my daughter, I said, I have no idea where did this thing come from?
Can you describe it?
But anyway, yes, it had a huge, the typical alien head. It had to be like 8 feet tall. All I saw was its head, and it had black. It had some type of cape on. It had something, and then what I remember is it opened its arms. It extended its arms out, and it blocked the stars. And I'm thinking, okay, I have to be seeing this thing. I'm awake. I am not dreaming. I haven't gone to bed yet. Like, what is this thing? Oh my God, that scared the hell out of me. And I looked at it, I said, don't come in my room, because my window was open. Oh my God, I was so scared. And it looked at me, it looked like it was mad. It looked at me, it's like, okay, I'm sorry, whatever I said. Whatever I said to you. I was just kidding, you know? I was trying to just tell him I was just joking with you guys, you know? But I don't know if you understood
me. Big, huge thing in your window.
5 minutes too long. That's all I need for me is 30 seconds to see these things, and I know I saw them, but this thing was there way longer than 30 seconds, and it had this black, it had a cape on. I'm telling you, it opened its arms, extended its arms out, and blocked out the stars, because there's stars all over the place. And it just sat there, and it looked at me menacingly, like evil. You know, it wasn't all happy, and you know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm looking at it like, where did you come from? What are you? You know, where'd you come from? And what do you want? It didn't say anything. It just looked at me, and it didn't say anything. And I was looking at it. I had my head turned on the bed, because I was sleeping at the end of the bed, so I had to have my head turned back to see it at the window. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I was like looking at it, and my eyes were like saucers. My eyes were huge because I was terrified. So I said, don't come in my room, because my window was open. As soon as it left, which I don't know if it was 5 minutes, it was a long time, but as soon as it left, I got up so quick, like I've never moved so fast in my life, and I closed the window and I closed the curtains. I was so scared, but I opened them up later, because you have to have the window open because it's hot there. But I closed it for a while after. Yeah, it scared the heck out of me. That was the end. After it showed up, my room stopped shaking after I saw it in the window.
Wow.
And I'm like, what the heck is this thing? Looked big. It had a biggest alien head I've ever seen since I've seen the alien. It had to be one of the taller ones. It had to be over like 8 feet tall. I just saw its head, shoulders, and the little part of its torso to where my window ended. But it had to be tall. Because its head was just huge. And I looked at it like, oh my God. Wow.
Yeah, seeing one another. You saw a gigantic, alienish. Crazy. Okay, well, we have a couple more minutes, so if you want to share a few more stories, we can quickly go through a few more stories, or another story if you want, and then we'll have to wrap this up.
Yeah, well, how it all started when I moved in Hawaii in 2010. And I'd say probably, I think it was I think it was maybe 5 months after being there, saw the first UFO. But what was nice is I had witnesses. And my son and my daughter saw this UFO, and the neighbors saw it. We were out in the yard. We were by the patio, by where the kitchen is, and we have this little like patio. As soon as we come out, I see this thing in the sky, and I saw it. I saw it fly in. I'm like, I thought I was seeing things at first, and I'm like, hey, you guys see that thing? Like, that's a UFO. And I think it was maybe, can you see UFO 100 feet from your house? Or maybe 100
Maybe.
feet. I'm not good with feet.
Yeah, maybe.
High up in the sky, but it was sparkling, all these different colors. It was a white light.
Uh-huh.
Neighbor saw it too, not just me, son. And my son stood there. We got scared. He stood there. He said, I'm going to stand here and see how long this thing sits there. He was out there for an hour. And he videoed it on his phone. He was smart. He videoed it, but he was scared when he
Yeah.
saw it. He's like, he was nervous from head to toe. He's like, I'm shaking from head to toe. He was petrified when he saw it.
What colors did you see? Because I've seen something similar. What colors did you see when you were watching it?
Like red, green,
Mm-hmm.
blue, all kinds of different sparkling
You're
colors.
describing almost exactly what I saw. Did you see anything fly in and out of it?
No, it just sat there.
Just sat there.
It didn't move. I saw it fly in, and it stopped on a dime and sat there. And we all saw it at the same time. We're like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Hey, you seeing that?" I'm asking my son Joshua, "Did you see that too?" He's like, "Yeah, that looks like a UFO." That's what I said. My daughter said, and my son talked to the neighbors, and they saw it too. And the neighbors said, "Oh yeah, we see UFOs all the time." The neighbors to the left of us were saying that they see UFOs all the time. I'm like, they see them all the time. I was like, oh,
Interesting.
Not what I wanted
Yeah,
to
very interesting.
But I didn't know.
Does your son still have the
One
video?
thing people don't know about.
Sorry,
He probably still has it. Yeah.
You get a chance. I don't know if you can send it to me or not. It depends on how long it is. It'd be nice to be able to. I don't want to share it publicly, but it would be interesting to see it because the one that I posted, they took down my YouTube channel, my Facebook channel, and then basically wiped my computer and destroyed my computer. So that was out in Orange County, California. But it sounds very similar. 2:00 in the morning, I went out and I had my wisdom teeth out and went down to look to grab some Tylenol. Look out the window, and that's where John Wayne and basically Orange County was where they fly over the flight path. But at 10:00 at night, they shut it off. This was at 2 a.m, and I look out the window and just see a couple flashlights. I'm like, oh, it's a helicopter, and then it started flashing blue, orange, yellow, green, red, and then I'm like, what the hell? That can't be a helicopter. So I went out there, I stood outside, and of course I'm in my, PJs, and 2:00 in the morning, I'm sure my neighbors were like, oh great, what's he up to now? And so I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, wait a minute. Then it started changing shape and color, and things started flying in and out of it. So I ran back in and actually got the DSLR camera, so I could zoom in on it and basically my handy cam, so I could also watch it. I recorded and took a bunch of pictures. I probably took I put it on the camera on a tripod, and I had a 7300 lens, and I zoomed all the way in on it, and then focused it in really good, and then just started taking pictures, and you can see it shift shape. It was crazy. It was a flying, a saucer one shape one time, and it's orange and green and blue and all these other colors. Now, I've never been abducted to my knowledge, but it sounds very similar to what you guys saw. And then, of course, I was stupid. I'm like, oh, I'm going to post this to Facebook and YouTube. Nope. Gone. Wiped it out. And then later, like a week later, all these reports of the same exact area in the Orange County Register and on the news, and then, all this other stuff. I didn't report mine to anybody else. But anyways, all right, well, we're about to wrap this up. Do you want to let anybody else know about anything else you want to talk about in Hawaii?
I was going to say in Hawaii, the UFOs are all on the big island, but they don't tell you that back in the States. They fly over to the smaller islands, which I found out. I didn't know that when I moved there. UFOs are all over Hawaii. They don't even report them in Hawaii. When people see them, they don't even report it on the news. I can't believe that. they gotta be seeing them every day. They're all over.
Well, it's interesting.
They're all over the place.
New. Oh yeah, we see these all the time. And then the fact that they don't report them kind of throws in the thought that maybe the military's involved. The more I do the research,
when I saw you,
I find out that the military's involved with everything.
Yeah.
Not just the military, but just special ops and little sections of the military. Anyways, all right. Well, Laura, we're going to wrap this up.
Okay.
Sorry, we're losing an audio feed from her. Anyways, so yeah, Laura, thank you again for coming on. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed Laura's stories. We'll have her back on here soon, probably, to continue on. She's had, like I said, numerous encounters. We've been able to do like 5 or 6 podcasts with her already, talking about different locations that she's been, because she's been all over the place, and had encounters and abductions all over the place. And she's had other cool encounters as well, with ghosts and stuff. So anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. If you'll do me a favor, just hit the like button down below and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next podcast. And we will catch you guys on the next one.